Welcome to the bold analysis. Details emerge about the Tuesday meeting, Kenya Kwanza parliamentary PG, that was actually called by President William Ruto to try to whip the Kenya Kwanza members of parliament to support the Finance Bill 2023 without inserting or removing even a single comma. And from some reliable sources that emerge is that President William Ruto and his legal team or his advisory team took the MPs through the finance bill on how and calling them to support the bill as part of achieving the plan. And members of parliament were not even allowed to engage in asking questions. It was a structured meeting, which was on one way, president lecturing. To the shock of many, they were even made to sign some attendance list, and each one of them parted with 100,000. That is according to information that is emerging. But that meeting, the photos were not largely shared because there are quite a number that skipped that Statehouse meeting. Members of Kenya Kwanza, for obvious reasons, some saying they were out of the country, but of course quite a number did not attend. But immediately after that PG, it is understood that a member of parliament from Kiambu, Gathoni Mushomba, declined to sign, or rather was not in conformity with what was the Statehouse declaration. She left and went back to her constituents in Githunguri and asked them what was their opinion about the finance bill, and they told her she must shoot it down, in what was seen as setting the pace for the new tone of Mount Kenya. This is something that I think President Ruto must understand, and I analyzed that when I was at home, that the biggest assumption that people in power make is that the much hyped opposition or criticism of the finance bill, the state feels Raila Odinga is the one leading the public opinion and to some extent misleading the public. But in real sense, civil servants are learned people. Doctors, teachers, lawyers, these fellows are learned and they can make their conscious decision. I don't think they have the input of Raila Odinga. That is not the caucus that Raila Odinga will highly sway. And I want to say one thing, that Raila Amolo Odinga must whip Azimio MPs to shun, oppose, and even not to participate, leave alone, not even to participate in the debate about the finance bill. Why? Because the UDA is committed to pass that bill as it is. Even if Azimio la Umoja would even participate in that discussion, there is already a bought majority. There is a majority that is being bought, and they want to pass it. So that's already the bill. The day of that bill is already a crime scene. If they want to, they should abstain from that bill as a plague. They should avoid it as a plague. Because from all indications, it means that president is committed and is not willing to listen to anyone. And any other person that is thinking about this bill is called a distractor. So that is one thing that Raila Odinga, as the mere leaders, must avoid. Emotional appeal on this taxation question will soon backfire the moment it will start to be implemented. I listened to the president speaking in Embu, and he's saying that members of parliament, the employed fellows, the taxes that is used to pay their salaries is only collected from the hustlers. That is far from the truth. I want you to listen to, I think, that soundbite before I explain more on that. The truth of the matter here is the most overtaxed group in this country are the payroll fellows. It is not true that it is the hustlers that are paying taxes and the leaders are not paying. Because not even the leaders. That statement is being made to believe that whatever is being done is just supposed to help the MPs and the senators that and the civil servants and those senior government officials that are staying there. Teachers are all over the country. Principal secretaries and cabinet members are few. They don't even reach 50. They're not cabinet members across all these 47 counties. Teachers are across the country. The doctors and the other civil servants that get their pay from the exchequer. So the emotional appeal that it is hustler who is paying tax to pay the rest, so let's just go because we want to support the hustler. It is being dangled now to manage this situation. But within some time, when you finally hit the road and the tax starts eating people, it will backfire. And I want to tell you why. The focus of the media and what William Ruto has focused on so far is normally 3% housing levy. And when you listen to when the leaders are speaking in public, they're only referring to the 3% levy. But I say, the 3% levy is just, a drop in the ocean. The issue here is the taxation cuts across. There is 16% VAT on fuel. No one is talking about it. Now, that is going to cut from transport to food on your table. We're not talking about it. There is turnover tax. There is a policy that have just been made of deploying fellows to be coming in your doorsteps of the kiosks and mama mbogas and mama ujis to collect the taxes from you. And so, we need to be very realistic. What the president has said as a way of collecting taxes is something that many might actually get focused on the fact that it is about housing fund. And Ruto can play with the population's psychology, and in a real sense just drop that and leave the rest of the tax. The question about the taxation does not stop and end with the housing levy. No. If you look at the finance bill is a problem in totality. Not just that finance bill. But the housing one is more emotive because it's cutting across all, especially the payroll fellows. So when you can now dangle with the stories about how hustlers are being paying taxes to help the others, but that will not hold. Mount Kenya region, where Hustler Nation was planted, will blow up in the face of Rigathi Gachagua. It is in Mount Kenya where the Hustler Nation was planted. I can think. And some leaders have seen that sense, and that is why they are not conforming to what the president is saying. Some are saying, fine, the president is right, but we need to listen to what the ground is saying. What are the people of Kenya saying? When the taxation will bite, such that there is high inflation, and of course with those serious job cuts, we have a dependency, we know in this country we have high dependency ratio, and the disposable income from the payrolls go down, homes are going to suffer. Children are going to suffer, the ones that are going to school. We are not going to bear it. And that is why people normally wonder, why is it that it's only in Mount Kenya that the complaints about the conduct of the government is going on? It is in Mount Kenya that it is ripe and it is highly octane because it was planted there. They were made to believe that is what would happen. Raila will tilt the scales. If they organize well, and with this one, I have seen Azimio saying they want to call mass action if Ruto uses the majority to pass it. He will use it and that bill will pass. I am telling you from where I'm seated here, from the slopes of Lake Victoria. That bill will pass and you'll do nothing about it. You're the majority. So those who want to oppose it, they must show that the dissatisfaction of Kenyans earlier before. But I do believe that while bribing MPs is a tool that you can use, but you cannot bribe the millions of Kenyans. So you just face the real thing. Instead of facing the leaders can lie to you. In fact, the MPs can pass it, but the MPs has nothing to lose, let me tell you. They only fear backlash from their voters. But in real sense, they have nothing to lose. They cannot suffer in paying their bills. If just an allowance, they've been given 100,000. So that kind of a person, so to be realistic, on this one, the president must get it right. As other people say, he itamramba.